The Horadrim were a band of mages drawn from the remnants of the scattered mage clans and empowered by the Archangel Tyrael to hunt down and contain the three primevals. By the accounts of Jered Cain and his colleague Tal Rasha, the original Horadrim were strangers selected not due to any particular wisdom or reverence, but because they were the most likely to succeed in carrying out Tyrael's mission. The first group of Horadrim was small. Some say the number was even 7. Some say the number was 12. Both numbers might be correct. And it can be assumed that the mages brought with them escorts, apprentices, and others to assist their mission. It is however known that their leader was a mage named Tal Rasha. From every account I've read, he was a paragon of the Horadrim, a selfless and noble leader who held the order together through many of its darkest hours. Taking shards of the Soulstone itself, Tyrael fashioned 3 Soulstones, each imbued with the power to contain the essence of a prime evil. Jered Cain recounts that Mephisto's Soulstone was sapphire, Baal's was amber, and Diablo's was ruby, or blood-hued. He also says that an intelligent and pious mage named Zoltun was given the task of carrying the stones and capturing the demons' souls within them, for the task most suited him. Though it is not explicitly stated, you can assume that Zoltun was a mage of the highest order within the Ennead mage clan, almost certainly a master of alchemy, alteration, and transmutation. Before the Horadrims' founding, the prime evils had been spreading terror, hatred, and destruction among humankind for many years. It is known that the primes possessed an uncanny ability to inhabit the living bodies of humans, possibly even assuming the identities of political and religious figures to deceive and twist Kejistan's populace. Fortunately for the Horadrim, the Soulstones were attuned to the demons' vile essence, allowing the mages to track down the primes even when their true forms were hidden within mortal shells. Ironically, it was Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred, believed to be the most intelligent of the primevals, who was found and captured first in or around one of the great urban centers of Kejistan. The fight cost many innocent lives, and the Horadrim vowed to avoid confronting another prime evil in a populated area. Once Mephisto's essence was trapped, his Soulstone was given to the emergent order of Sakarum by Tal Rasha, who knew that only they could be trusted with such a grim responsibility. Years later, the Sakarum would build the temple city of Travancal in the area, in the jungles near Kurast, in order to protect the Soulstone. This would, of course, have dire consequences, as Mephisto's hatred would corrupt the noble religion over time. Hunting the primes was a daunting one, and the mages were undoubtedly confounded on many occasions, losing the demons' trail before picking it up again. In time, Diablo and Baal journeyed west over the twin seas to the deserts of Anarok. The Horadrim remained in close pursuit. Baal took refuge inside the city of Gulain for 3 days, while Tal Rasha and the Horadrim patiently waited. The demon lord then fled north to the scorched wastelands. The harsh deserts did not protect him from the Horadrim, for they were men as tenacious as they were prodigies in magic. The Lord of Destruction unleashed the fury of his powers upon them. The land exploded, and fire erupted from the broken earth, burning everything and everyone in its path. The ground fell away, and the combatants plumbed into a network of subterranean caverns. Still, the indomitable Horadrim pressed the attack. In a desperate attempt to survive, Baal hurled a devastating spell at Tal Rasha, shattering the Amber Soulstone. Nevertheless, the men fought on and subdued their raging demon lord. Tal Rasha, gathering the largest of the Soulstone's shards, trapped Baal's destructive essence within it. It should be noted that there is some controversy about how the Soulstone was shattered. Even the studious Vajara mage Nor Tiraj has conflicting accounts in different documents about how this came to be. Yet, another account from a different source stated it was the inability of one of the Horadrim in particular, Zoltun, to properly handle the stone in battle that led to its breaking. Whatever the case, when Baal had been drawn into the shard, it became clear that the fragment by itself could not contain his essence forever. In a profound moment of insight, it was Zoltun who suggested that a human might be able to contain the demon's essence, using the shard as a conduit to his body. Cole believed that a mortal heart would serve as a kind of surrogate soulstone. When he said that they would need a mortal vessel to bind Baal within, to wrestle with the demon for all eternity, a silence fell over the mages. An instant later, it was Tal Rasha himself, their beloved leader, who stepped forward to make the awful sacrifice. Jered Cain's notes suggest Tyrael then appeared and whispered to Tal Rasha, "Your sacrifice will be long remembered, noble mage." He then led the men through the subterranean tunnels into the burial chambers of long-dead kings. There, deep within one of the largest tombs, the Horadrim built a binding stone etched with runes of containment, held fast to the chamber's walls by unbreakable chains. Tal Rasha then ordered his brethren to chain him to the stone. As the other mages looked on in sorrow, Tyrael approached and jammed the golden shard into Tal Rasha's heart, transferring Baal's essence into the mage's body. Sorrowfully, the Horadrim sealed the chamber and left their brother behind to wrestle with Baal's writhing spirit, presumably for all eternity. With the loss of Tal Rasha, Jered Cain became the leader of the Horadrim. He and his surviving brethren followed Diablo's trail of terror for nearly a decade. Their hunt took them to the distant western lands of Khanduras, where Diablo was finally confronted and ultimately imprisoned within the Crimson Soulstone. This time, the Soulstone worked properly, and the demonic essence of the Lord of Terror was trapped. The stone was hidden within the labyrinth cave system near the river Tal Sunday. Tyrael appeared before the Horadrim a final time and commended them for having achieved so great but so bitter a victory. He declared that the site must be guarded for all time, lest the Lord of Terror someday walk once more among men. The Horadrim who remained built a small monastery and a system of catacombs within the caves. There was much debate as to what the order should do at this point, having received no further guidance from Tyrael. Jered commanded that records be kept, rules of conduct were devised, and rudimentary formalization of the Horadrim order began in earnest. It can then be presumed that some returned to the homes they had left so long before, while others continued to carry out their dire mission, seeking out evil in its many incarnations and standing as guardians against the forces of darkness. Regardless, the fundamental nature of the Horadrim order changed at this time, as its members transitioned from being a diverse band of warrior mages to a society of stoic academics. One exception, of course, was Zoltun, and to better understand the tragic story of this once great mage, I have included a treatise on the subject written by Jered Cain himself, The Hunt for Zoltun. Following our capture of the three, Zoltun took leave of the Horadrim and returned to Kyrgyzstan to pursue his studies of magic. We heard little of him in the subsequent years, until disturbing reports flooded in that he had built a sprawling archive beneath the eastern deserts, and begun a number of strange, unholy experiments. Initially, we did not know what to make of these reports, but then we learned the true depth of Cole's madness. The hunt for the three had left Cole a hollow and unfeeling shell of a man. He felt no pleasure or pain, anticipation or regret. He had become obsessed with soulstones, and believed that he should create one of his own, a vessel capable of harnessing the essences of both angels and demons. Zoltun would then use this black soulstone, filled with rage and hope, fear and valor, as a substitute for his own black and empty heart. Though it pained us greatly, we agreed that our former friend had to die before he could complete his twisted goal. I will say nothing of how the killing of Kulle took place, or who accomplished it, for that is among the greatest secrets of our order. After the deed was done, 2 more of his archives were found in the deserts and oases. We destroyed them. While the unfortunate affair of Zoltun Kulle did not extinguish the fire of the Horadrim, the flame never burned so bright again.